We're now taking a live look at the nation's capital in D.C. as the beginning of a trade war begins.
President Donald Trump originally imposed steep tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. But now a temporary pause of the tariffs will only last a month.
And a 10% import tax on Chinese goods will still go into effect. The president saying these tariffs are meant to hold allies and China accountable for the flow of fentanyl and illegal immigration.
But as national correspondent Atra El-Nashar reports, economists warn they'll likely end up making inflation worse for Americans.
Between calls with world leaders about tariffs that could devastate economies, President Trump asking reporters a loaded question.
How is the market doing?
The closing bell seeing a wave of red as the private sector braces for the economic pain of Trump's tariffs. By 10:30 Monday morning, President Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announced an agreement to pause tariffs for 1 month to give them time to negotiate.
I'm confident that in a month, we will deliver results for both his people and Mexico.
Mexico also agrees to send 10,000 troops to the U.S.-Mexico border to target the flow of fentanyl and undocumented migrants.
They're going to keep them out, seriously out, and otherwise they're going to have a big penalty.
In return, the U.S. agreed to help curb the flow of weapons into Mexico. After 2 phone calls, President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also agreeing on a 30-day pause. Canada agreeing to a series of border safety measures. President Trump writes, "As president, it is my responsibility to ensure the safety of all Americans, and I am doing just that." At 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, 10% tariffs on Chinese imports to the U.S. will still take effect.
And China hopefully is going to stop sending us fentanyl. And if they're not, the tariffs are going to go substantially higher.
China promised to bring a legal case against the U.S. to the World Trade Organization and take other corresponding countermeasures. Global markets caught up in the tension.
The one market that's gone up is oil prices. They're up enough that they're going to make it cost you an extra 80 cents to fill the tank of your car. And again, that could go higher.
Economists and most politicians are in rare agreement about what inevitably happens to the country that imposes tariffs.
It will drive the cost of everything up. In other words, it'll be paid for by American consumers. I mean, why would you want to get in a fight with your allies over this?
The White House pushing back on predictions Americans will see prices go up, pointing to tariffs and low inflation during the first Trump administration. But the size and scope of those tariffs paled in comparison to what we're seeing now. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.